Hi there, this is Vince of vinceprep.com, and I am just so excited right now. I'm announcing a new product that I've been thinking about and working on for literally 20 years. I feel like this is it. This is the sort of culmination of all of my life's work since 1997 and even before that. The product is called City Stages. If you're interested, head on over to vinceprep.com and fill out my intake form. I would love to tell you more about it. I'm trying to gather a group of people to sort of test this out. Basically, the concept is, based on my clients' feedback, you guys are looking for a place, like why are you spending your time looking at my videos instead of any number of other things you could be doing with your life on YouTube or anywhere else? I probably just lost a bunch of you just there for asking that question. But frankly, really, I assume, and you guys tell me, that you need help telling stories. And I know this is true because I myself struggled to tell stories. I stuttered. I had a speech impediment. I couldn't pronounce R. I sounded like I was from Baltimore. With no offense, I love Maryland. I used to live there, but moved out to California and I couldn't say R, and I sounded kind of strange, and I stuttered, and I had an accent. And I'm not making fun of anybody. This is all a true story. And I spent so long getting comfortable. I'm pretty introverted, actually, but I've spent a lot of time and a lot of effort learning how to get out of my shell when I choose to share a story. And I sense that a lot of you are like me in that way. That you. And also, here's the thing: the purpose of my site primarily has been, historically up until now and probably going forward, vinceprep.com is about MBA admissions. But I don't have an MBA. My purpose on this planet is to help people tell their stories. One of the places where you need to do that is at an interview for a business school, a top business school interview. You also need to do that on paper, figuring out how you're going to do the written application and how you're going to do the interview. But this whole thing of doing admissions consulting is a great way to share my skill set, and I want to continue to grow and develop as a professional and as a person. And City Stages is the sort of the next evolution of that desire and wish on my part, the great passion that I have coming from my own experience of overcoming my own issues, to learn how to share my own stories, and then somehow finding ways to share some of those skills and insights with you guys to get you comfortable and confident. I mean, here's the thing. For admissions anyway, and probably job interviews as well, in fact, I know job interviews, video, the ability to speak comfortably on camera as if you're speaking to a real person, telling a real story that's not too long, and I got to check in with myself here and keep this one brief. I want to make a community. City Stages is a place for you to share your story in a safe space and get feedback. That's in a nutshell. So is YouTube, and so is any number of social media channels. And the difference here is that eventually I want to be using, part of it is I want it to be highly tech enabled. So I don't just want, I make these videos fast and cheap. This is just me talking on my Mac. Frankly, I'd love to do a dance. I'd love to. I monologue. I have stage acting experience. I'd love to play my bass for you guys if you'd be interested. I'd love to tell a story. I'm not very good at drawing, but heck, I'd love an excuse to make a cartoon, to set up a dialogue between two stick figure avatars. I'd love to find a way to share my story in all kinds of ways, and that's the meaning of the name. City Stages. Stages is everything is a stage. All the world is a stage, if you will. Are you a player? Get on the stage and share your story is the crux and purpose of this community. It's not even beta. Right now I have the website. I've owned this website since 1997. I've been holding this one for 20 plus years, just waiting for this moment in history to launch this bad boy. It's going to be a place to share your story. I'm going to define, I've already defined 4 types of stories, 4 buckets, if you will. I want your story to fit into one of those 4 types, at least at first. And eventually, I'd love you to be able to use your your boot suit, whatever, your haptics. I'd love you to be able to create something three-dimensional or dynamic or VR enabled or AR enabled, blah, blah, blah. But at first, it's probably going to be a lot of this. A lot of you guys talking to your camera, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, talking to your camera, sharing your story and getting feedback. The community will decide if your story is, quote, good. The community will give you feedback, constructive feedback, supportive and kind feedback, and also constructive feedback in, again, a safe space. You'll share your story and you'll identify it as one of 4 buckets. You'll ask for some advice. I'd like these to be short. You'd like this video to be short, so I'm going to sign off really soon. Anyhow, I'm just so excited. And thanks for letting me sort of share this raw, rough thing with you guys. The name I know is set, City Stages. The meaning of the name is everything is a stage. You move through various stages of your life. There's all kinds of meanings to this name. And city, I guess, is just a fun concept. I like to live in cities. I grew up in the suburbs, sort of wishing I was in a city. And a lot of my friends now live in the middle of nowhere. I have friends who don't live in cities at all, so this is not a diss in any way on my farming family, that I have family members that are actual farmers, friends that are farmers, and folks that live far outside cities. It's not, I'm not trying to be any kind of judgment about cities are better or anything, but I just like the name. It's stuck, and I've got it, and I want to use it. And the real thing here is that the stage. Come to the stage, share your story, get feedback, and also give feedback. I want this to be a place of give and take. And I want the stories themselves to be a kind of currency. And I want them to be real stories. This is related to behavioral interviewing, which is another thing that you guys keep telling me, and it's some of my most popular YouTube videos. So the crowd is telling me that behavioral interviews are a little strange, a little bit stressful, and they're very much based in reality. So you need to find and tell true stories about real stuff that happened in a way that's clever, clear, concise, convincing. So this space, City Stages, is a platform in which to share your story and get feedback and also give feedback. A lot more details to come. If you're interested, head on over to bschool.com and fill out my intake form. I would love to chat with you more about this. See if you're interested. I'm going to be starting a beta test of this very soon, and I'd love to get some input and build a trusted community here for this new product launch. That's it for now. As always, subscribe to my channel. I'll keep talking about City Stages over here at vinceprep.com because it's my dominant channel. So stay tuned, subscribe for updates, leave me some comments, express interest, likes, dislikes, whatever. I'm welcome, I'm open. I appreciate your time and attention. That's it for now. Take care.